Hey guys, it's too early to talk about the holidays, but they're already playing Christmas music on a lot of radio stations here in Oregon, and I've talked about the fact that they play too early. But what's interesting is that here we are in November, and someone is making a list, and they're checking it twice, and they're not looking for nice people; they're looking for naughty people. And I'm not talking about Santa. I'm not talking about the elves. I'm talking about the radical left wing arm of the Democratic Party. Uh, AOC sent out a she's a twit. Anyway, they sent out a Twitter, she sent out a Twitter that basically stated that she's hoping that people are keeping tabs on everybody in the Trump administration that had, in their opinion, committed crimes or that they have done things which they need to explore, round up, jail, or do whatever they need to do to them. Basically, acting as if a war crime has been committed to this country. Basically, the 200,000 dead from COVID. Also, there's a new website called the Trump Accountability Project. And look at this. Remember what they did. And it shows all those kids in the cages that the ICE situation and everything. And if you look, it says this. It says, we must never forget those who furthered the Trump agenda. It goes down this long list that says we should not allow the following groups of people to profit from their experience: those who elected him, those who staffed his government, and those who funded him. So they're sending out their lists, and they want to have people recommend who should be on the list. And this is unprecedented. But what's interesting, though, is that while this is kind of a scary thing, it's kind of, once again, this covert action rather than going into the cities and tearing things down. They're basically creating their own junta. They're creating their own, group that's going to hunt down these people and basically have them, I guess, stand justice for something. I don't know what they're thinking. But what's interesting is that there's another list that's being compiled, and that is a list of radical left-wing operatives like her, like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and others, that the Democrats, the moderate Democrats, are saying need to be eliminated from the party so that they can do their job. So these, as I said, people always say, well, the left wing's all AOC and it's all Black Lives Matter and it's all this. Mm-mm. They want to be separated. The fragmentation is beginning, like I said. They're fragmenting the parties. They're fragmenting. It's going back the way it was in the 60s, where you have conservative Democrats and you have liberal Democrats, extremely liberal Democrats. That's why that was the era of Johnson and Wallace and how Kennedy had to deal with all that. I wish people knew history. I wish people would pay attention to history because, well, it makes my job easy because I can just write about things and talk about things that are historical. But, I was just reading the other night about Thomas Dewey and Truman and how, everybody thought Dewey was going to beat Truman. And even the media hated Truman like they hate Trump. But then Truman won. And that was just hell after that. And that's the only hope I think the Republicans have right now is somehow removing states. And then we see a reshuffle of the electoral college. The meeting goes into effect, or they have the certification of the electoral college in December. Something happens on the 18th of December where we all go, what went wrong? What's going on? And then, as we talked about the tabletop exercise with this, this war transition type exercise, and also we're in civil war, and we have these lists. We have people hunting people down. This is what they did with Operation Condor. This is what they did with Operation Phoenix in Vietnam. These are things that we need to be very careful about. These are things, these guys should be exposed for what they're trying to do. I don't know if they understand the repercussions of this. It's like first they came for this guy, then they came for this guy, then they came for this guy. They'll go after people that are talk show hosts, artists, those who have views that are moderate rather than views that are extreme left, those who don't want to go after their Marxist, communist views. See, I talked about the permanent revolution a long time ago, and this was something that Trotsky came up with. You guys, man, this is amazing to analyze. It has nothing to do with partisan politics. I wish people would stop their bullshit and get on with the idea that America is now crumbling. This is where we're falling in line with every tin pot dictator that's ever existed, every scheme that's been brought up by the CIA. This is it, okay? And to play politics now is stupid. Play American. That's the only game to play. If you're going to get caught up but Donald Trump this, Donald Trump's not the deal right now. what's the deal right now is the plot to continue this subversive ideological play that they've been wanting to create. I mean, the New World Order is what they want. They want utopia. That's it. And so you guys have to pay attention to this. That's what I'm going to talk about tonight. It's very important that we talk about this. And so join us tonight at 7 p.m. on Aftermath.fm. We broadcast live. It's from 7 to 10. We always encourage people to do that because, people are still listening at 9 o'clock on the KXL app. Don't do that anymore. You shouldn't, because you're not getting the live show. And so we would rather you listen to us on Aftermath.fm or on the station that you listen. I mean, there are plenty of ways to listen.
And TalkStream Live.
TalkStream Live, everything. I mean, look, you got to do this. You got to listen that way because it's just, you're not going to get the full show. You're not going to get all the information. And believe me, if you get me halfway through a show, you're going to think, well, probably already do, that I've lost my mind. Listen, you got to do it. Things are happening. How many people just jumped off of Facebook for no reason 2 days ago? It's a war. It's asymmetrical warfare. And I know that this country is not used to it. People are not used to it. They've never heard of these terminologies before. But believe me, I've lived through it. I know what it is. I know what's done. I know how it's done. And we're on the brink, if not right now, going through what these countries like Vietnam, South America, Central America, Venezuela have been going through for some time as they're pushing or have been pushing the idea of communism and socialism throughout the world. So, again, join us on Aftermath.fm tonight at 7 p.m. Sign up for Aftermath.media. Remember, you get the library, you get documents, you get videos, you get all kinds of good stuff. You get a social media platform for $9.99 a month. If you just want the archive shows, it's $4.99 a month. And people, there's also a yearly program as well. Hey, thank you so much for supporting this program. Thank you so much for spreading the word. You really, really have to commit to this program and all the other programs like it that give you the information that you need, because they may not be around much longer. And that's why we're fighting to keep this show in some way, shape, or form alive, whether it be on terrestrial radio, internet, our own digital playground, archive form, podcast form, every way we can. TV now. Guys, we're doing our best. We're working hard because, eventually it may smooth over and we can go back to normal. But at the moment, it's not going to happen. There's a war on for your mind, and you need to be able to take responsibility and value it. Thank you so much for supporting this program. We'll see you.